right. Good Saturday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Saturday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to go on and talk about tonight. As you see, what is on tap. Red flag warning remains in effect as we go all the way throughout this evening until around 8 to 11 o'clock p.m. Also, cool and dry air mass dominates tonight into Sunday, and then also dry weather will prevail through early to midweek as a surface high pressure shifts offshore, and then slight chances for showers and thunderstorms return by mid to late week next week. So, a good amount of stuff to talk about, and all of that will be covered. If you have not hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. Right now, we have around a good only a couple people watching and only a couple likes. So it seems like almost, if not everybody, has hit the like button. So that's good to see. But just in case YouTube is glitching out and it's not showing it like it's supposed to, go and hit the like button if you haven't already. Also hit the subscribe button. We are at 726. We finally broke the curse of 724, and we're now at 726 subscribers trying to get to that main goal of 800. So we are a quarter, more than a quarter of the way there. So let's go in and get there. Also, hit the share button. Share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, and people that you don't even talk to because it's free. You and them both can both change your mind or their mind at any time. So let's see what's currently going on. Well, right now, nothing. Nice and dry right now. No precipitation flowing throughout the state. Everybody's having a fun time right now. But there is some special weather statements out. We have a special weather statement over here for the low country. Combination of gusty winds, low humidity, and extremely dry fuels will continue. Elevated fire risk on Sunday. Various burn bans remain across South Carolina and Georgia. Do not burn. That's in the low country. And then that goes until around 5 a.m. And then over here inside of the PD areas and the Grand Strand areas, continuing to say strong winds seen on Saturday have already evaporated the moisture that was on the ground. Burn bans are now in effect across both of the Carolinas until further notice. So, still, you should not be burning anything. Burn bans are still in effect throughout the state of South Carolina. Still, you should not be burning anything. Now, what's going on in terms of the entire U.S. weather news-wise? Well, we do in fact have some rainfall, some snowfall going on up here in Michigan. We have some rainfall in Montana, Idaho, Washington, even some rainfall in Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and rainfall down inside of parts of New Mexico. But other than that, nice and dry over here inside of the Midwest, the central U.S., Southeast, going into the Mid-Atlantic. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Now for cloud cover. Cloud cover right now actually seems to be more of off the coast from us and more to our south, so we don't have anything to watch for in terms of cloud cover. Look at our cloud cover for the future, though, as we move into tomorrow, going into tomorrow morning. Here's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, going all the way to 8 o'clock in the morning. You can see cloud cover moving its way up, 9 a.m. here. Cloud cover continuing to kind of be a part of the low country, being a part of the Grand Strand areas, being a part of the southern Midland areas as we get into tomorrow morning. And then as we move into tomorrow afternoon, cloud cover continues to try and move its way up into the state. And then by 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 o'clock in the 6 o'clock in the evening tomorrow, going to 7 o'clock p.m. Cloud cover still remains present as we continue our way through tomorrow night, going into Monday morning. Cloud cover is, again, just here with us. So we definitely aren't going to get straight clear condition, but there definitely will be a lot of clear spots going throughout the state as we get more and more into tomorrow, going into the day after. Now for our current temperatures, we have around 52 in Somerville as well as 55 in Charleston, 56 in Beaufort, and 57 in Hilton Head Island, 53 Orangeburg, and 52 in Georgetown, 53 Murrells Inlet, and 52 in Myrtle Beach, 49 Conway, and 50 in Florence, 52 Sumter, and 54 in Columbia, 51 Lugoff, and 52 in Hartsville, 51 in Newberry and Lawrence, as well as 52 in Greenwood, 53 Anderson, 55 Clemson, and even around a good 52 in Greenville, 51 Spartanburg, 50 in York. Now, air quality, we're nice and good. No bad air here throughout the state. So we are all good to go. Nothing even inside the moderate. Now for our low temperatures for tonight. A lot of things that you may see on this map may be a bit upsetting, but we have to go through it, and you can see almost near freezing temperatures up there for Chirac, for Dillon, for Florence. You know, you see Spartanburg potentially, Rock Hill, 36 in Greenville, 36 Anderson, 36 Newberry, 38 Columbia, 39 Orangeburg, 40 Moncks Corner, 49 Charleston, 53 Hilton Head Island. So it might be time to turn that heat back on. I mean, we just had the AC on today, or maybe not today, but yesterday. You know, we may have already had that AC blowing, but tonight, probably time for the heat to come back out. Probably time for the heat to come back out. And if we go on and look at the high temperatures for tomorrow, 65 from Greenville, Spartanburg, 66 Rock Hill, 66 in Lawrence, as well as 67 from Greenwood down through Newberry, all the way over into Chirac, Dillon, and Charleston. 68 Moncks Corner, 70 from Columbia over into Aiken, Barnwell, Orangeburg, 63 from Myrtle Beach, 68 Hilton Head Island. Rainfall for tonight going into tomorrow, not expected, so you do not need any rain gear as we go throughout tonight into tomorrow. And then the crazy score. If you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is throughout the entire state of South Carolina. And right now we're at a 16. Why? Well, for the most part, it's mainly because noticeable cooler temperatures are making its way through. Light to moderate winds early. Patchy frost also a potential, especially up there inside of the northern PD areas where there are even some freeze warnings in effect for Darlington County, also over here near Marlborough County, and then near Dillon County as well. So those three areas, those three counties have a freeze warning for tonight. That is for obviously the potential for freezing temperature for some spots to get freezing. So that's the reason why we're at a 16. Now, in terms of the SPC outlook, tonight, tomorrow, Monday, thunderstorms not expected. Fire weather, this is from today. And for the most part, it's looking like that it's going to fizzle out as we go into the nighttime hours. So this is kind of just really for earlier today, not really for right now. Excessive rainfall also not expected at this time. So let's go and look at the models. We're going to start off here at 9 p.m. And as we just go on and push this forward, one thing that you do see is absolutely nothing. You don't see anything, actually, except for down to our south. You see like a little bit of activity near the coastal areas from time to time as we go throughout the next 48 hours, but it's not going to cause anything too crazy. If anything, just a drizzle at most as we move throughout the next 48 hours near the coastal areas. So I'm not too concerned about anything there. If we go in and look at the GFS for the long-term future, so this is past Monday, going into Tuesday. Tuesday, maybe a little spotty shower activity on Tuesday. Wednesday comes along, maybe a little bit more active in the upstate on Wednesday, potentially. And then Thursday and Friday comes along, and these 2 days could potentially be a little bit more active as well. Saturday, Sunday, not really. It doesn't really get too active until around Sunday evening, afternoon, going to like the nighttime hours, potentially on Sunday of next week. And then as we go into the week of the following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, nice and dry. You're not seeing anything too crazy except for maybe like some rainfall activity, maybe to try to move its way through on Friday and Saturday of the weekend after next weekend. So honestly, I mean, like I said, not too much to really watch for. I mean, I'm honestly looking at the start of next week to be pretty nice. But then as we go into the end of the week on Friday, maybe some rainfall and maybe a little storm system to try and end off the week. But even as we go into the weekend after Sunday here, April the 5th, we have some more rainfall moving through, a cold front maybe trying to move its way through. But after that, I mean, I'm not seeing anything too crazy at all. So I'm not honestly too concerned about anything here. If we go on and look at our temperatures for the future as well, we're going to push this forward all the way through. Here at 5 p.m., here 8 p.m. Sunday here. I mean, we stay cooler than average due to the cold front that we just received. But as we move into Monday, definitely warmer than average. Temperatures coming along. Tuesday comes along, Wednesday, and we're about 10, 15 degrees above average. We move into Thursday, going into Friday, Saturday. I mean, just very much warmer than average as we go throughout the week next week. But a cold front definitely will be trying to ruin it as we go into the week after here on Monday, April the 6th. So, cold front potential as we move into the end of next week, going into early parts of the week after. So that's definitely something to watch for, even as we go around 10 to 15 degrees below average there. We move all the way into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of April, like the 10th-ish, April the 9th, somewhere around there. Kind of just a mix here and there, but it's 300 hours out. Things are going to shift. So the main thing that I'm looking for here definitely is warmer temperatures as we move into next week, and then a cold front potentially late next week. And then let's go and look at the actual temperatures, because I know a lot of people are probably going to be looking at that. And you can see as we move all the way through Sunday, we have our high temperatures up into the 60s, 70s. Monday comes along up into the 70s. Tuesday, 70s, 80s. Then we get into Wednesday up into the 80s again. Thursday, 80s. Friday, 80s. I mean, just looks like a nice week, and temperature-wise at least. Now, rainfall-wise, I mean, we'll see. But temperature-wise, I mean, looks nice. If you want this warm weather, trust me, next week is the week. We just got to get through tomorrow, maybe a little bit of Monday, and we will be at these 70s and 80s. Then we go into Saturday. Obviously, the cold front will be moving through as we move throughout next weekend. Mainly seems like Sunday night going into Monday potentially. And our temperatures will be right back down into the 30s and 40s by the time we get into Tuesday, April the 7th here. By the time we get through to Wednesday, April the 8th. By the time we get into Thursday, April the 9th. So, temperatures will definitely be cooling down again. Maybe not like low 30s wise. We'll see what happens. Things will change. This is 230 hours out. So, things will change. Things will change. So that's pretty much all I have to say in terms of the temperatures here for the deterministic. I do want to go and look at the ensembles real quick and see what the ensembles have to say real quick. Ensembles, for the most part, kind of showing some 40s, some 50s, definitely a little bit of a cool down as we go into the week after next week, but that's expected. I mean, temperatures not getting really past the 60s too much. I mean, you see some like high 60s, 69. I don't see any 70s until you get into like Georgia. So the week after next week, it could potentially be definitely a cooler week, to say the least. Definitely could be looking at a cooler week. Then as we get into the weekend, things finally start to trend up a little bit, trying to get us more into the 70s. So that's pretty much your pattern overall as we move throughout the next 200, 300 hours or so. Looking like as we end off the weekend here, cooler, dry. Then as we go into next week, starting off dry, going to be warming up. Then as we get more into the end of the week next week, trying to get a little bit more active in terms of precipitation. And then in terms of the week after next week, cooler, maybe a little bit drier. We'll see what happens there. But definitely could still see some rainfall. So I think that about covers everything as we go into what's on tap screen, the what's on tap screen right here. So let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say here for tonight. Starting off, my Aunt Lula was here first tonight. She says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. I pray that everyone had a great day." Well, I did. Thank you so much for asking. And Mr. Chris says, "Good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day." Well, I did. Thank you so much for that. He also says, "Please remember to go hit the like button and the subscribe button, and also share with everyone that you know. It's free. Helps the channel grow." Absolutely. Right now, we have around a good couple of people tuned in so far and a couple of likes. So, not too many people here for tonight. But there are still some who have not hit the like button yet. So, if you still have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Maya Lewis says, "We did have a little shower. It did not last long at all." I was actually kind of a little bit shocked. Got a little bit of a shower this morning. It must have been like a shower that wasn't really modeled, because I mean, we went through the models earlier today and this morning, and I did not see any shower activity throughout the state. So that must have been one of those little showers that may happen throughout like an area occasionally, but it doesn't really do anything, doesn't bring any accumulation. It lasts like 5 minutes or so, and it's very, very light. So that's all I'm assuming, because there is no models that were saying that would occur. Mr. Chris says, got to around 64 degrees here in Lux Corner. Very breezy. I have not checked out my highest wind gust today. Probably need to go in and do that. Let's see. My high temperature for today was around 68, and then my current temperature was 54. My highest wind gust today was only around, I mean, I only see 21.2 on here. I think it probably was higher than that, though, just because obviously my things aren't too high up in the air. I need to raise them up a little bit more, but probably was higher than that. In fact, I know it was higher than that. So that's just what I got like on like the ground level, though. Then continue our way through. Um, let's see. Milo says today's high was 61. Mr. Chris says currently it's 54. And then Milo says currently we're at 50. Mr. Chris says started off very cloudy and breezy, but cleared up nicely. Same thing at my house. It was very cloudy this morning. Honestly, I thought it was going to rain for like a hot second. Obviously, I knew that it probably wasn't going to because the chance of rainfall today was just slim to none. But it honestly looked like it. It honestly very much did look like it was going to rain, but it cleared up nicely. Malu says, we did have a very windy day here today. Same here all day. Miss Chris says, they can keep those freezing temperatures absolutely up there. Oh, you're talking about up there in the northern PD areas? Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, there will only be like a couple of sheltered spots who get down to like freezing temperatures. I think everybody else is mainly going to be above freezing though. Trail says, greetings everyone. It's cold, absolutely. And then Milo says, we are still going through the seesaw weather. Then she also says it was a hit or miss shower. Yes, pretty much that's what it is. Just like a shower that doesn't do anything. It rains for like 5 minutes or so. Very light, nothing crazy, and it dries up like nothing barely even happened. And that's all that I can see here. So let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking 4 locations outside of South Carolina. What am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And because they tune in almost nightly, we go on and give them their forecast for them. So starting off, we have San Antonio. Low temperatures tonight at 58. High temperatures for tomorrow at 83. And then low temperatures tomorrow night at 65. Rainfall not expected at this time. Severe weather, excessive rainfall not expected for you. And then in terms of your future, your first chance of rain. Wednesday night, 30% chance of rainfall. I know honestly, we weren't really expecting any rainfall, but it just got added. So you have a 30% chance of rainfall Wednesday night going all the way through Thursday night of next week. And in terms of your temperatures, for the most part, it's going to be rising up all the way through 92 on Wednesday. I mean, it's going to be going all the way up. So that's going to occur. And then once you get into Thursday, it will kind of die back down to around 87 or so, but it will climb right back up to in the 90s on Friday. So your temperatures are just going to be hit and miss in between 80 and 90 degrees. For Raleigh, you have low temperatures tonight at 32, high temperatures for tomorrow at 64, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 49. Precipitation not expected at this time. And then in terms of your severe weather, excessive rainfall, nothing for you. For your future, it looks like temperatures will be warming up. I mean, 83 on Wednesday next week, so you will be warming up. You will be cooling down a little bit, though. 75 on Thursday for your high, 69 on Friday next week for your high, 74 on Saturday. So you're going to be kind of topping out at around Wednesday, but then you're going to slowly drop down a little bit as you go into Thursday. And then precipitation is also possible on Wednesday for you. 40% chance of thunderstorms on Wednesday, 50% on Wednesday night as well. And then in terms of Philadelphia, low temperatures tonight 32, high temperatures for tomorrow at 57, low temperatures tomorrow night at 45. Precipitation not expected at this time, but your next chance of precipitation is not really until Monday night, 30% chance of rainfall. But severe weather, excessive rainfall, that's not expected. You have a 70% chance of rainfall on Wednesday, so that's something to watch for. Thursday, Friday, I mean, chance of rainfall all throughout that time frame there. And then for your temperatures will be warming up. I mean, 80 degrees on Wednesday. I mean, you have 30 for being your lows as you go potentially later into the later part of next week. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you're going to be kind of warming up on Wednesday, but then dying back down into like the 50s for your highs on Thursday. So temperatures will be kind of maxing out for everybody on like Wednesday, but then for some reason going down. So that's like everybody's pattern for these four areas. And then finally for Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight 80 at 45, high temperature for tomorrow at 82, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 58. Precipitation not expected until around Tuesday, 30% chance of rainfall there, 60% on Tuesday night. No severe weather, no excessive rainfall. Temperatures are going to continue to kind of go up Tuesday, but then instead they're actually going to drop on Wednesday to 69 for your high temperature there. Then Thursday, they're going to start warming up a little bit more. So, kind of weird weather, but also kind of the same weather for everybody here. So, we'll see what happens as we get more and more into the future with these four areas, but that's pretty much it. Nothing else too crazy to talk about. In terms of the chat, I don't see anything else here for me to look at. We did get a picture today from Mr. Chris. He says, in this morning at 10 a.m., very windy as well. Yeah, it was very windy for pretty much almost everybody throughout the state today. But here it is. Thank you so much for the weather picture. If you want to send me a weather picture, you can by sending it to scweather360 at gmail.com. Again, that is scweather360 at gmail.com. So let's see the top fans of the night for tonight. If you don't know what the top fans are, it is a little thing that we do, and we see who has contributed the most inside of the chat. So we're going to go on real quick and take a look at that. And it seems like still back and forth. Honestly, I mean, guaranteed it's going to be Mr. Chris Trail and then my Aunt Lula, because there's the only three really to talk tonight. So, but we're going to have to see what the order is. So let's check it out. I mean, just scrolling down right now, honestly, I do believe... Actually, no, it's a bit closer than I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, hold on, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, very close. Very, very close. Miss Chris was at number 1 by 1 chat, and then my Aunt Lou was at number 2, Trails at number 3. So congratulations to the three of y'all for being the top fans of the night for tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you can by joining us here at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Also, being here like on time, 9 o'clock. That also helps out. And being a subscriber, because if you're not a subscriber, well, you can't type anyway. So, and also being active. All of that helps out. And I think that's all I have to say for tonight. Honestly, we're out of here by 9:22. That is honestly the earliest we've been out in a long time. The long-term future just did not have too much to say there, so I think that really impacted it. But I'm out. Make sure you tune back in tomorrow morning for your Sunday morning forecast update. Also tomorrow evening, we have our week forecast update for the first half week of April and the last part of March. That will be tomorrow. Also, we also will be going on and talking about the month of April as we go into Wednesday of next week. So make sure that you are there for that, as that's going to be something interesting to see. Not like a full seasonal forecast, but something there. Make sure you hit those two buttons before you leave. Hit the subscribe button. We're at 726, trying to get to 800. Also hit the like button, the share button with all the people that you know. It's free. You and them can both change your mind at any time. And that's all. So I will be back tomorrow morning. Make sure that you're there. Hit those two buttons.